put the big frame in front of your eyes and in somewhere, I hope, in your brain. And today we will try to illustrate such a reality. So the second day is called Beyond Narrative, the case of K-pop, but not only K-pop by South Korea. It's a very blooming, trendy topic. All the writers in my field are researchers, are doing research on that. Because of what? Because we can prove something. It's very easy to prove because all the data are online, provided by either the MFA or other protagonists. But before that, there is a small workshop for 30 minutes. We will look at a video which is not related to South Korea. That's nevertheless interesting to see. It's a video, and I will ask you to work by 2 or 3 to analyze the content of the video. Why do I do that? As you are trained by this university to analyze books and literature, you can be trained in communication studies to analyze videos and messages. It's not the same methodology, but at least it's function. Okay, 30 minutes is a short exercise, but at least it's possible. So we will start by looking at the video with the 2 following questions. Is there a narrative? You have to discuss with your neighbor or by 3. Is there a narrative in that story? And what is your opinion on the sender, which is people which has realized the video? What is your opinion on the message and the coherence, and even if you have some argument on the effectiveness? What do I say? Because many say people, if it's online, there is result. No. It's not because you put something online that you will succeed to be visible or able to understand. Or understood. Sorry. So now we move to the video 2 times. To be sure you catch all the messages. It's 2 minutes 35. Look at all the details. And even there is some titles in the video which give you some precise information. I click? No. I do something else. Each system is different. Ah, yes, I see what it's preparing again. Full screen? Full screen.
Let's get him. Hey, hey. I'm roaming through the heartland with a slick road trip. Turkmenistan, rich history, a legacy that's alive. Caption C on my left, third on my right. My His wisdom shines, candles like light. Emphasis where it's at, the beach is stretched far. Fogs from around, till you know what it's worth the trip. Gonna sun, St. Pin, skis in red. Turkmenistan, no place, can't get it out my head. Turkmenistan is the land of dreams, where the horses run free and the captions gleam. With the carpet so grand like a work of art. Turkmenistan, you're forever in my heart. You're forever in my heart, hola, hey, checking out the niche vibes, it's the truth. Augustin, Hansel, Yokes, that's the heritage roots. The rooms tell a story of an age long ago, but the spirit of the people keeps marching on. Mervyn and Ergen, they got history deep, and second on the list. Yeah, that's where we keep the thoughts of the past, moving to pride. Turkmenistan, history can't be denied. Turkmenistan is the land of dreams, where the Ilabai guard and the Ilagline gleam, where the dun so high and the captions breeze. Turkmenistan is the place to put your mind at ease. To put your mind at ease, crossing through the earth, feeling like a king. Crews got a vibe, it's a different kind of swing. People in harmony, friendship, what they know. From Ashgabat to Koindak, see the country grow. The white marble towers, reaching to the sky. Got the largest carpet, yeah, it's gender certified. The design tells culture that's strong, not troll. Turkmenistan, where I love to belong. Turkmenistan is the land of dreams, where the horses run free and the caption gleams. Where the carpet's so grand like a work of art. Turkmenistan, you're forever in my heart. What? you're forever in my heart, yeah, yeah, you're forever in my heart, yeah, yeah, so let's raise a glass to the land that we love, Turkmenistan from desert to above, with the alibi by my side and the Akaltiki strike. This is a friendship country where dreams come alive, Turkmenistan, yeah, it's where I will abide, hold up.
Okay, so we will look at it for the second time, because it's
First time with Ease My Trip, we have got something special for you.
Okay, so you recognize, who knows this country, Turkmenistan? Is every one of you, it's okay, it's famous? It's not so famous, huh? So we start with a totally invisible country, and then my words will be. We have many people coming and going from Turkmenistan. Okay, but no students here yet. We start from scratch, from a not so famous visible country at a worldwide level, to then after that the case of South Korea. So it's, but we will see the video again. Of course, it's shooted. It's made in Brussels, so but it's not the point. You have to look beyond the first images to understand why this country has made this video. So the topic, we will see it again. What is the message? Is there a narrative? And what could be the purpose and the effectiveness of the video regarding to the organizer, the people which have made the video, which is the embassy of Turkmenistan in Belgium. Okay, once we'll see it again if I succeed to manage quite well this tool. Because sometimes to find again the video could be like this. No. Which is terrible for me. Thank you. You have to go beyond the first images and take notes. We're working team by two.
I'm rolling through the heartland with a slick road trip. Turkmenistan rich history, a legacy that's alive. Caption C on my left, third on my right. My security wisdom shines, candles like light. Emphasis where it's at, the beach is stretched far. Fogs from around, till you know what it's worth the trip. Gonna sun same paint skis in red. Turkmenistan, a place can't get it out my head. Turkmenistan is the land of dreams, where the horses run free and the captions gleam. With the carpet so grand like a work of art. Turkmenistan, you're forever in my heart. You're forever in my heart, hola, hey, checking out the niche vibes. It's the truth, Augustin, Hansel, Yokes, that's the heritage roots. The rooms tell a story of an age long ago, but the spirit of the people keeps marching on. Mervyn and Ergen, they got history deep, and second on the list. Yeah, that's where we keep the thoughts of the past, moving to pride. Turkmenistan, history can't be denied. Turkmenistan is the land of dreams, where the alibi guard and the elegant gleam, where the done so high and the captions breeze. Turkmenistan is the place to put your mind at ease. To put your mind at ease, crossing through the desert, feeling like a king. Crews got a vibe, it's a different kind of swing. People in harmony, friendship, what they know. From Ashgabat to Koindak, see the country grow. The white marble towers, reaching to the sky. Got the largest carpet, yeah, it's gender certified. The design tells culture that's strong, not troll. Turkmenistan, where I love to belong. Turkmenistan is the land of dreams, where the hosts run free and the caption gleams. Where the carpet's so ground like a work of art. Turkmenistan, you're forever in my heart, what? You're forever in my heart, yeah, yeah. You're forever in my heart, yeah, yeah, So let's raise a glass to the land that we love. Turkmenistan from desert to above, with the alibi by my side and the Akaltiki strike. This is a friendship country where dreams come alive. Turkmenistan, yeah, is where I will abide. Hold up.
Okay.
वो दुनिया है तू जिससे रोशन ये दुनिया है.
Now, it's you. So you discuss with your neighbor, person you want to choose. Made some groups by 2. Or if you don't like to be by 2, you may be by 3. And you discuss for 10 minutes. What did you see? Elaborate a common position, and then you will give me some feedback. It has totally functioned with my French students, which were not specialists in communication, so I'm sure you will do the same. Allez, rapidly, make groups and discuss together. What did you see? Is there a narrative? And what is the purpose of this video? Yeah, 10 minutes. Are they used to work in groups like this?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Small exercise like this. L'étudiant du premier rang, il était là l'année dernière.
Non, il n'était pas là.
Lui là? Oui, c'est ça. C'est ça, il était là. Il a l'air très.
Il part.
Maintenant il part. Il part un petit peu.
Vietnamese coffee.
Le café vietnamien.
Ah,
From Vietnam. In Vietnam, we usually drink iced coffee.
I know.
You know, huh?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, yes.
You're second producer of coffee, you're third in the world. Thank you. Cold coffee. Je connais, c'est bon d'ailleurs. Good for you. Thank you for this. J'ai dormi 5 heures.
Ah oui. Ah bon, ça fonctionne. Là-bas, je suis allé le dimanche. Il fallait leur téléphoner avant l'avance. Parce qu'il n'y a pas beaucoup de clients.
Ah oui, donc ils sont partis.
Non, ils étaient là, ils ont dit qu'ils ont dormi.
Zut. Bon, donc ça marchait dimanche, on les a ratés. Ah, c'est dommage. J'ai un souvenir, c'est le plus beau massage que j'ai reçu.
Et celui-là, il était bien ou non?
Oui, il était bien. Oui, c'est bien fait. Il a beaucoup d'énergie et il fait ça très bien. Mais là, c'est autre chose. Là-haut, c'est satellite, quoi. C'est unique. J'en ai fait des massages. Hein. Ça, un en Thaïlande et un autre en Inde d'ailleurs. Mais c'est les 3 meilleurs que j'ai reçus. Tandis que là, oui, c'était bien. C'était vraiment bien fait. Il prend son temps, il met un truc sur la peau. Non, bien. finis à midi?
Oui, non, midi et demi, on va leur parler. Mais s'ils sont d'accord pour midi et demi à peu près, ça va bien pour toi?
Ça fait qu'on va manger à 2 heures.
2h30?
Ouais.
Parce que je ne suis pas sûr si à 5h ils seront d'accord. C'est pour ça que bon, je vais leur demander.
Je leur demande.
Parce qu'après, je peux partir seulement après 5h.
Ouais.
J'ai le cours de 3h à 5h.
Ah, tu as cours?
Oui.
Ouais. Ouais, je sais pas si c'est mieux de faire un massage le matin ou le soir, je sais plus. Et tu as il te reste des produits pour dormir? Des produits
Non, je n'ai jamais pris
t'as
le
jamais rien pris? D'accord, d'accord,
quelques jours, je ne dors pas, mais ça va.
d'accord.
Le troisième jour, je vais dormir. Quand je me levais à 3h du matin, je n'ai rien fait.
D'accord.
Après quelques jours, il ne faut pas dormir tous les jours.
Hein?
Il ne faut pas dormir tous les jours.
Ah, comme ça, là, c'est vraiment dur.
Oui,
Vraiment dur.
c'est dur.
Le cerveau est pas là. Il y a une sorte de tristesse terrible, c'est terrible. You still have 4 minutes. 4 minutes to gather IDs. There is no correct answer. There is just your reception and your position. Oui. Et il faut s'enregistrer pour le vol. C'est le vol de Patna à Delhi, il faut s'enregistrer. Oui, il faut le faire aujourd'hui. On le fait chacun séparément? D'accord. Oui, il faut le faire aujourd'hui, ouais. Yeah, hein? Ah oui. Là, tu veux dire? L'étudiant vietnamien, il est venu gagner du café, puis il est reparti avec son affaire. En fait, il vient faire ses relations publiques, il vient faire de la pro. Regardez comment je suis gentil, je vous donne du café, puis comme ça j'ai une occasion. Allez, 2 minutes. Okay, time is over. Go back to look at me. There is no correct answer. There is no a truth to discover behind that images. There is first what we call in communication the reception process. What did you receive, and what is your feedback? Okay, so this is very important to give up. And I choose a very invisible country because you have nothing to rely on. If we take Argentina, you will say, oh, tango. At least in Europe. So this is people grab on cliches. On Turkmenistan, as far as I know, there is no cliches. So what are your comments? We start like this, and you give me 2, 3 phrases or comments in order to answer those questions. You, the 3 here. Who want to take the floor among the group? You read the notes of the colleague. Right. Okay, rapidly.
The first question is there a narrative? Yeah, there is narrative. This set a narrative to attract the world that they have a good tourist spot and the history.
Tourist spots.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the histories and their culture.
Okay. What else?
And they showed some, for example, some historical monument of the country.
Okay. That's here.
Yeah.
Monuments. Okay.
And then, in terms of culture, they show some artifacts. For example,
Okay.
some map from
Okay. Artifacts, books. Okay.
books and their food. For example, they mentioned the Turkish Turkmenistan chocolate. So this is I think they want to promote this chocolate.
Chocolate.
The chocolate. That's why they mentioned the Turkmenistan chocolate.
You have seen chocolate in the video?
Yeah.
Who has seen chocolate? Okay. Should I look at it? Do you think Turkmenistan produced chocolate?
I don't know, but they showed the mentions. That's right.
Okay, go on.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
No, okay, maybe I'm wrong too.
And then, in terms of literature, they mentioned Turkmenistan poems.
A poet, yes.
So there is a heritage. and then the horse riding. The horse riding.
Yeah, okay. But all this stuff are touristic and culture and history. You're right.
And then throughout the video, they showed what the mat actually.
The
Mat, M-A-T. Jute mat.
mat? Yeah, carpet. Okay.
So these are, I think these are the culture, representation of Turkmenistan. So,
Okay.
So
So you identify the different items,
items.
resources, like they said yesterday. What's beyond? What is there a narrative?
Yeah, is there? As I mentioned earlier, there is narrative.
But can you? No. Are you able to rephrase in one sentence with your own words, all of you, what's the story? What is the message? What do they want to tell?
Yeah. By making this video, they want to tell the world that they have a good history, they have a good culture and some tourist spots and natural beauty. So
But my friend, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh and Costa Rica will do the same.
yeah.
We have culture, we have food, we have tapestry, we have birds, we have tourist spots, come to visit. So in that case, it makes no difference with the rest of the world. You understand my point? So I will not discuss only with you because otherwise, is there a last point you want to mention?
No.
That's okay. Okay, good. The groups there? The 3, 2, what are the, how many people are you in the group? 4. Who is ready to take the floor? Alors, of course, when you will be at the end, there is less differences, but that's a game. Thank you for your contribution. Hello. Speak louder, please.
Using folk song to portray the art, culture, and tradition against the demand of independence.
Using pop song.
Yes,
Is it a pop song? It's rap. Okay.
choosing art or music, just like how Michael Jackson used his song called Black or White, released in 1999, as that song promoted racial harmony and unity, stating color doesn't matter, as person should not be judged based on their colors. So
Of course.
what we come out is that a person should be known through their country, or their people should be known through their rich culture and their art traditions, which makes them unique. And also additionally, cultural diplomacy tries to promote idealized image of the nation, such as I mentioned, like architecture, traditional attire, which helps them to know culturally and historically, and also narrative somewhere limits country soft power.
Okay. Did you have time to discuss the efficiency or effectiveness? Do you have time to discuss the efficiency? In other words, were you convinced by the message as a normal citizens? Do you understand what I mean? At the end of my lecture tomorrow, will you be convinced by my words? This is the same question. Are you convinced by this video, 2 minutes 35? You discover online through YouTube by Ezod. Did you discuss that point? So mignon. You can say yes, you can say no, you can say maybe. There is 3 positions, neutral, for, and against. Mais on sait qu'il ne faut pas dire non dans la culture. Okay, c'est non. Another group? Do you want to add something? Yeah, I know, but who wants to add, in the group, do you want to add something? Okay, so you raise a difference with the group using rap. Okay, good. The next group, where is the next group?
Sir, we analyzed that as this video is made by the embassy, so it is completely based on public diplomacy. The words used like harmony, friendship, and land of dreams are some of the words which make the viewer find the similarities and connect with the video. And next thing, the portrayal of girl in the videos portrays how the country values the education and the girl child.
Uh-huh.
Next thing, what makes it different from any video made by the country? They have chosen a very fresh idea of using rap to, as their target audience is youth. We analyze the target audience is youth, and that's why they use the rap in their video. And as the target audience is youth, they also portray to have education diplomacy.
Education diplomacy.
Yes.
Where did you see that?
Sir, when he was trying to portray the girl child and giving the book to read.
Yeah, but the book is difficult for you because the book is in French.
We just related the book with education.
Yes. Yeah, okay, you relate the book with education. Yes. Yeah, but it's because of the language you cannot understand beyond. Oh, a new student. Do you want to add something? No, that's fine. You see, 3 groups, 3 contributions, 3 different contributions. It's always good. Who's next? Okay. And the man behind is joined the group instantly. Okay.
Well, we say that there is a narrative, and in the storytelling we see this young generation,
Yes.
the singer who rap in English, and the little girl, both of them are showing tradition and also contemporary global style of,
Who is a global style? Who represents the global style?
because for example the singer, he is in some scenes he's wearing traditional clothes,
Ah.
but in the other scenes it's a very Western style of.
According to your eyes, is a singer a Westerner or a Turkmen?
No, I think it's a third.
You vote, because it's a democracy here.
No,
Raise your hand. Choose. Is a Turkmen or a Westerner? A Turkmen? Who say Turkmen? 5, 6, 7. Who says Westerner? Only one. Who doesn't take care of vote? The rest of the room. Huh?
We have something called as nota. I don't know how.
No, here not nota, it means that maybe, they are not sure.
Yeah, but I know that. Don't take position in order to avoid the risk. He's a Belgian guy. Well, continue, please.
The singer is not a native speaker of French. Sorry, native speaker of English. That is very clear. So now it is
Is a Flemish part, northern part of Belgium.
Yes, Flemish or something.
So, what would you add, please?
And then about the sender and the message, of course the sender is, I think, the country, but by the voice of the people, with this kind of first view of a friendly, cultural, not rigid, that invite the audience to explore more about this country, this traditional thing, and this open
Okay.
country style of, kind of engaging also with contemporary values.
What are the contemporary values?
For example, the rap,
Uh-huh.
for example,
The-
the
the ice-
love,
The ice cream? The ice cream is contemporary values.
These things, they engage like dialectics,
Okay.
modernity and
Okay.
traditional things.
Okay, we have to go a little bit fast. So, next group, yes?
So the first thing is that video was posted 8 months ago. So it's a very recent video.
Yeah.
That adds to it because if it was so it was older, then it would have kind of how to say it would have been less effective. First of all, it's new. The second thing is there is not one shot which was taken in the night. So all the shots were day shots.
Was they shot? Okay.
Yeah, and the second thing is there are multiple narratives which they talk about, so I will not talk about that, but then it says Turkmenistan dreams. In the first glance, one would think that it's dreams of Turkmenistan,
Yes.
which was metaphorized by that girl going into that embassy. You see,
Good.
almost. And that girl, actually, the narrative is the girl, and everything is, is a
For you,
part
the
of-
narrative is a girl.
the center, the protagonist of the narrative is the girl.
Oh.
See? And everything kind of becomes object of that narrative. And then at first glance, we think that it's dreams of Turkmenistan, but later the rap itself makes it clear it's Turkmenistan, the land of dreams.
Yeah.
Now this is something very attractive, but we have kind of it's a normal kind of adjective. Land of dreams.
Okay.
Then
Last point.
there is this. Then they show lots of textile and all these things.
Yeah.
Land of friendship, they call it.
Land of friendship. Yeah.
And this idea of friendship is very important. Then the second thing, the
What?
whether that girl is native of Belgium or kind of Turkmenistan.
The girl.
The girl, the girl.
This is a
What is-
question.
What is her ethnicity?
Ah.
Italy, because we don't know the language, right? The poetry book.
Ah.
So whether that poetry book was translated or it's a kind of.
The poetry book is in French.
Yeah, it's in French. So that girl must be other culture, right? She's not Turkmenistani. So it's almost as if that girl is entering into that culture, and this singer is taking her along with him.
Yes, it's you're right, but you're missing. Okay, some details you cannot know, so that's why it's so fresh. But okay.
So how can we because that girl, because you see this video itself is based on this city which is not in Turkmenistan, I guess.
It's a Brussels.
Yeah. So it's not in Turkmenistan. So
Yeah.
that girl, she might, because if that girl is Turkmenistani, there is no possibility of cultural diplomacy or tourism because
Yeah.
that is a kind of native looking at the native land.
Yeah. That's a good. You're already creating a story. Very interesting.
You see, so this metaphor of her going through the streets and looking at something and just entering it without, the attraction of that second.
Okay.
She looks at something and she enters, and we don't see her entering it. That means the moment she looks at it, she has already entered it. The dreams.
Yeah.
See, so and
Okay.
there are many things I will not.
Okay, that's an interesting comment. Very interesting. So you create a story, or you try to find a story which we don't know. We don't know the reality, and we don't know the intent of the people. Have you noticed who has produced and paid for the video? It's in the first shot. Who wants to take the floor? Yes? You?
Yeah. Okay, sir. So through our discussion, we find that there are several small narrative and one bigger narrative.
Bigger?
So through that video, we found out that the city is a place where amidst modernity, like heritage and culture are still well preserved in the everyday life. But we find out the Ferris wheel, which indicate a kind of modernity, and the singer also sing some hip hop and rap, and yeah, everything is
But-
else has been
Sorry, you said the city is well preserved.
not the city itself, but in that city, the modernity, amidst the modernity, the heritage, culture, and tradition are well preserved in the everyday life.
Yes, okay, but I forgot to mention, because it's obvious for us, a Westerner, the video is shooted in Brussels, in Belgium.
That's why I mentioned the city and not.
But the Turkmenistan is not responsible to taking care of the building in Belgium, as far as I know.
So even though in Brussels there is this kind of Turks culture,
No.
yeah,
You see something which doesn't exist.
yeah, because in that embassy it indicates also a cultural
What?
exchange, the cultural exchange with Brussels and Turkmenistan.
Oh, you find many things that I don't see. Okay, and something more?
We also find like 3 different generations in the video: the little girl, the young man, and kind of more mature middle-aged man who plays the traditional music.
Okay. Next group and last group, I think. You 3? Something different?
I think many things are already covered.
But yes, the problem when you are the last one.
So, what we discussed is that first the visual things. So, I saw this, there was a glimpse of this evil eye, little bit something like evil eye that we see here in India.
It's a Turkish culture, yeah.
The caps that they kind of something which was a cap or something that you would put on head.
Yes,
They had some gems
yes.
that could be symbolic of something related
Then
We are here, okay.
Then they were focusing a lot on the flags and there was an image of somebody maybe who is an historian or a politician there and
A politician?
I don't know, there was an image of somebody who was wearing some sort of
Yeah.
and he was shown multiple
Kind of, multiple times, a tapestry.
Yes.
It's a poet, it's an image, the portrait of the poet, which we can see the books.
So maybe they're trying to emphasize onto that.
Matim Kuli Forgi.
And apart from the visual things, which I just heard, I remember these two lines that the hook line was that history can't be denied.
History can be denied, okay.
It is something which puts mind at ease, and then they talk about the values, the harmony, and
Okay.
so this is the message that we are trying to give, is that history is something which cannot be eliminated, which is something which will be carried forward and inherited, and something that we should be proud of. And I think to take everybody together, and this thing that we discussed yesterday was elitism.
Oui.
That no border for society. So
Ah.
that is what they are trying to say. That
Okay.
this is what puts mind at ease.
I
and
have to be
we
ba-
have to be together.
Okay, illimitism. I apologize because maybe tomorrow I was not clear enough about that notion, and you make a misunderstanding of that notion. But that's not a problem. Well, great. And we see that already on that board we have almost all the content of the video that you may gather at the first view. You don't know the details, you don't know the background, which I know, but it's possible to analyze any product, any cultural or any element with the critical eyes. Yes?
And one more point.
Sorry.
This girl that was always shown, it could also be seen that this boy and this boy is the present self, and this girl is the childhood memory.
Oh. A
Something like
lot of imagination. That's great. That's great. Okay. Okay. So you first start here with culture. Okay. This is obvious. Okay. Please note that this is obvious, and all the country will use culture to promote themselves, to promote tourism. But for me, tourism is not public diplomacy. Because tourism is something that you cannot move away. If I want to visit the ruins of Nalanda, I have to come here. So that's the point. But see you, thank you for being there. So that's the first element. But this is the minimum. And this is not public diplomacy, not the core of public diplomacy. But never mind. You notice in Brussels there is some sign of Turk culture. Yes and no, because there is a huge minority of Turks, but the shooting was not done in that district, but you don't know that. Of course, you mentioned that, which is of course to attract young ones, because we know that YouTube and music is a good channel to do that. Well, this is a normal strategy nowadays. Then I'm a little bit surprised by this girl plus education. I never saw that, but why not? Then you say the sender, the unit in charge of the video is the central government of Turkmenistan, which is not the case. On the first image of the video, you didn't notice, it is signed. This video was shooted by the embassy of Turkmenistan in Brussels. So, but you didn't catch it, no problem. It's very important because it's an initiative from the Turkish embassy, from the Turkmen embassy in Brussels. It doesn't come from the capital. And of course, you notice very important keywords, dreams and friendship, which are in the lyrics. That's very important to point out. Good. What can I say more? Because we have to go to... Alors, 2 points. This represents your perception of something. There is no right or wrong. You are free to choose, and each time you use your social media, it's a similar process. We may discuss for hours on effectiveness or efficiency. We may discuss for hours. But I would like to, once again, use democracy to know if you are, we already decided, no, we make a vote on the singer. Who considers that video is efficient? And who doesn't consider that video is not efficient? Are you, and I invite each of us to take positions. There is no risk. So who considers that video is a very clear, efficient message to be seduced on Turkmenistan issues? And the other position is who does not consider. Are you ready to choose? First position, who considers it's an effective video, or it's unclear, or it's an ineffective? You see, three positions. Effective, unclear, in between, something we don't know, or ineffective. And the result of our vote will not be sent to the Turkmen embassy in Brussels or in Delhi. It remains private affairs. Efficient, unclear, inefficient. Please choose. Efficient? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? Sorry?
It is related with the purpose they have when they make the video. We don't know the purpose.
But we never know the purpose.
Well,
No, we never know the
as
purpose.
an audience, of course not. This is very...
This is the exercise. If I show you a French video or if I show you a Korean video, you don't know the purpose. Never. You see?
In marketing or in something like that, you already know. So you see, is it effective or not in relation with a specific purpose?
Yeah, but because you have some better knowledge of the country. But here you start from scratch. This is why I took the exercise. You don't have any references. If I show you a K-pop band, or a K-pop girl band, or boy band, you will have some references. So you will rely on that. That's why I choose this case. Yes?
For me, it was effective, not just because of video, but mainly because it was 8 months. If it was older than 4 years, 5 years, it would not have been effective.
Yeah, it's a strange argument, but no problem. Who votes for the unclear position? Go back, silence. Who votes for the unclear position? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What? And who votes for inefficient? It's a total bullshit, blah, blah. We don't know what to do with that. No one? 15? Are they 15? More, a little more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 5 I'm missing. I know. 15, 22, ça fait 7. 7 doesn't take position. Okay. You should better train in exerting your right of vote. Okay. I like, I've done the similar exercise with French students in international relations. So they are not from communication studies. Exactly like you. and we arrive at a similar result. Something which is unclear. Because 7 and 7, we cannot choose. So we are exactly in the middle. And we are lacking of time. Normally I take more. But we are lacking of time because I want to do the second part. But we are lacking of time, but it shows already first you have the right to have a perception. Then when you start from scratch, from nothing, by either looking at a video, you can be critical. Then it can contribute or not to a country. So it's very interesting to do in such an exercise. But of course, all these elements are okay, except 2 points. One saying that the girl is a main protagonist, which according to me is unclear, but which very interesting because it could have been done better. But the girl is a daughter of the ambassador. Yeah. So maybe they put it like this, but they don't think of your very interesting idea that she could be the main protagonist because the video focused on the singer. And then there is a problem with that notion, illimitism, with you. Illimitism, I make a short explanation, is it's not all the... you make a confusion with a notion which is called interculturality? Interculturality, which is everyone is friend with the rest of the world, we will be free, we are blah, blah, blah. This period is over, according to me. And illimitism, remember, yesterday we cite or we refer to Elon Musk, which is illimitism is transhumanism, where not everyone is friendly, but where everyone as a single man or woman, sorry, can go beyond its own limitations. And going with that, nature is not a problem. Heating is not a problem. Global change is not a problem. Resources is not a problem. We can send people on Mars. So illimitism is that. And beyond that, there is an emerging notion in the world which is totally disconnected with that, libertarian. And it's become very more visible since Elon Musk is around. So don't make a confusion between cultural relations and interculturality and illimitism. But it could have been my mistake not to having some time, not enough time to explain it. Yes?
I added the point illimitism because rap was the umbrella. Rap through the genre of rap, they are showing the video.
Yeah,
rap
okay.
They understand it now in the whole world. They are showing their culture. And the culture diplomacy, you have also told me that culture diplomacy is the first gate of diplomacy.
Yes, I told you that yesterday. Well,
In that sense, I added that in term that this umbrella may be.
no problem, sir. Don't take it for you. Great, great. Well, it functioned. We have to go to the next. Hein? Ça va si on fait 15 minutes de plus? Pas de problème. Ils sont... Well, I'm happy to share that with you. According to me, to conclude, they face this video remains unclear and they don't have a clear purpose where they want to go. Because of what? Because of this type of the country, which is a totally closed country. And they just are member of the UN. They are member of nothing else. Not even WTO and other elements. So they start from nothing. And the the ambassador in Brussels has as a mission to enhance the image of the country in Brussels and in Belgium. So he's doing his jobs, and he's learning by walking. On dit ça? Il apprend en marchant? He's learning by doing. There is no strategy behind. Some country, and then I switch with a perfect transition to South Korea, because there is a huge, clear, visible strategy by South Korea. That's why it arrives even here in India, where we are. Okay. So I've made a similar research. We go now to the South Korean case. I've made similar research than yesterday to the myth in Korea. There is two, Samgyu, Samgi, Samgyu, Samgyusa. I don't go into details. It's not my specialty. And they also point out that shamanism is one mythm, which is not really, because it's more a relation with life, but at least I put it here. But I don't find, we will see that it's, this connection doesn't function. It was functioning yesterday with China. It doesn't function clearly with South Korea. We will see why. Well, South Korea soft power, South Korea Hallyu, South Korea K-pop. Everyone in the room should have heard about that. Maybe is one of you following one band on its social media? No? No one is following one band? One. Why? Good. So this is very worldwide. This is a worldwide success, and we will see why. So first, I describe the disposal, I describe the system, then I describe the strategy. So of course, here is a website in Brussels where, first look at that, how it's important. Here it's an exhibition on tradition. Okay, here it's a manhwa. Manhwa and webtoon, it's similar to comics for young ones. Here it's a concert, here an exhibition. Here it's a lecture for literature. Here it's about basic information on Korea. Thank you. Here it's a gateway culture, and here, of course, inevitable K-pop classes. What do I want to say? That this is a copy of the website of the Korean Brussels Center in Brussels. I've made a survey of that. I'm going to to each event, and I'm also teaching in Berlin, where I also visit the Korean Cultural Center to make some comparison. What do we see already here? We see that they think to different kind of audience. Maybe the adults to visit some traditional exhibition. Of course, comics for, you know that, I don't know in India, but the growth of comics is very huge among the young ones in Europe. Concert, lecture, and of course K-pop. So they are covering almost all the different categories of Korean culture towards different audiences. Not only you, not only me, but different kind of audiences, which is a basic to do a soft power and a public diplomacy complete. Yesterday we discussed some countries cannot do, some countries can. Let's point. In 2021, I was attending to a Korea Week, which is located in the center of Brussels with a big stage. And here we don't see them. There is maybe 20 to 40 stand or booth when you can have food and different Korean products. And of course, here it's a pansori, traditional opera. Okay, could be a little bit specific. And of course, at 6 p.m., you had a K-pop band where you can see. And what was the audience? If you look at the audience, it's mostly girls, sometimes with their parents, and mostly around 17 to 25. The core of their target for K-pop. Very well organized. They have done something more later. I will show it to you. So I describe. Of course, now we've got different elements. Here it's a Korea Unbox. It was November 2024. I was going there to make some critical analysis. Monthly K-Culture Playground, Mid-Korea KCC, so Korean Tradition Day. So they cover, they are very aware, they have money, they have the will to do that, and they are using all the tools were at their disposal. And they are not only online, they go one each year outside in the streets. And I was attending, I don't know if I put the photo. No. No, I didn't put the photo. But here, I should have put it. Here I was attending, it was so cold, but it's not a problem. There was a huge food court only with Korean food. It was full. You have to queue for 20 minutes, which for us is very long. So it was and it was a wind, chilly wind at 4 degrees in November. It was full. You have to queue. And then on the other 100 meters away, there was a Korean Cultural Center. You have to queue to enter. You have to queue 30 minutes in the cold to enter in the Korean Cultural Center, where all the people say, oh, can I have a free drawing? Can I have a free photo with a star? Can I have a free book on tourism and all that stuff? So they cover the range in a very organized manner. You know, South Korean, they are very, very, how can you say, organized, dedicated, and also under social pressure. Because unfortunately, the consequence is at the highest rate of suicides among the young ones. But that's another topic. I'm not a sociologist of South Korea, and unfortunately, I never went to that country. So here, in 2018, I took this photo to show they tried to map the fandom of K-pop. It's visible in almost, except here and in the center, it's visible everywhere. They have collected data. This is a success. So there was some testimony by my colleagues about the success here in India. There was even success in Tunisia. So there is success everywhere. I don't know if it's a success but here it's quite also successful too. So they cover the world. Of course, they have something totally less known, how to learn Korean. So it's not Alliance Française, it's not Max Müller Goethe, it's I don't know the name, sorry, I don't remember. The quality is very bad. That's my, so they have 213 institutes in 73 countries. They cover the country to learn Korea. And look at that. Oh, I forgot to mention that. You know, INALCO in France, it was founded at the beginning of the 18th century. 18th century to learn foreign languages. You can learn in INALCO in France almost all the languages in the world. You should know? Good. In 2022, there were 2,000 candidates for 150 seats. Can you imagine the selection? Only 10% can have a chance to learn Korean at INALCO. So it's a new trend among the young ones. 10 years ago, it was China. Oh, China, I will learn China to do some business over there. Oh, I will learn China because of soft power of China, because of panda, because... Today, students vote with their hands or with their foot or with their brain. They say, at least in the West, we don't go to China anymore. We always prefer to go to Korea. That's you know, soft power is attraction. We are no more, it can be called like a modern epic. It's no more in the myth, of course, but at least it's attraction. Go, okay? So, I had the chance also to attend for 2 days in a row to the South Korean National Day in the beginning of September with a very wonderful residence. And this is a discourse of the ambassador. Okay, it's a traditional diplomacy, a reception for 400 participants around there, but they go beyond because there is car. There is car in the park, of course, Hyundai. There is food and beverage. Of course, you can eat, but you can take away, or you can buy some brandy or whiskey or some stuff like that, alcohol from South Korea. And there is also health and beauty products for you women, for the skin, for the eyes, for the hairs, with ginger, all that stuff. And also some promotion on international exhibition at Busan. And when you left, when we left the premises, we have a gift. We have a small bags. And in that there is beauty products, which you can give. There is some food to consume. And there is small books with all the South Korean restaurants available in Belgium. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. They promote all their dimensions, not only K-pop. They don't deal with K-pop on that day. But they deal with the whole positive dimension of South Korea. Well done. Well done. Because they merge everything into one. Of course, K-pop is more for you, but I never succeed to look at one video K-pop, but if you give me some food and some healthy products, I will be interested by them. And I'm not ready to buy a car because I don't have a car. And I don't need a car. But at least, sorry for speaking of my personal life, at least they think to different targets. And they think to make one. It's more difficult to understand which clear message you have, but we will show it later, but at least they promote their product. Because of what? Because of making trade, because of gaining new clients. Maybe to succeed the family of your colleagues to buy a Hyundai car in Bangladesh, because it's cheaper cars than German cars. Is that right? Questions? Before that, questions? Okay. Now, after these descriptions, we go into the data. Because South Korea, like Japan, has a culture of transparency. Like France or Germany or Canada, a culture of transparency. Almost everything is available online. So here I had the chance to attend to a conference, the size and budget in public diplomacy. What do we see? We have a MFA, like here. We have the Korean Foundation, which is a tradition in Southeast Asia. We have the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism. That's public diplomacy. 3 different actors. And here we have got the number of programs. And here the budget. Unfortunately, it's in Korean won, which I'm not very familiar. But at least it shows that there is a 105 million of Korean won for 2022, 2021. So I think there is a number of programs, 3 big protagonists, which may be public or private. So, and they are here to promote the interest of South Korea. Cars is something different. Beverage is something different because it's made by producer. It's private. But they may receive the support of the embassy as business diplomacy. We go further. We go to the strategy. Online, PDF version for free. To share Korean culture, to understand on Korea, to gain support for Korean's policy, to strengthen public diplomacy capacity, to promote public-private partnerships. Okay, there are 4 goals. They write them down. And then they show the different elements which should be developed. Cannot be clearer. It cannot be clearer. Promote Korea's policy for foreign residents. They even saying to the foreign residents in South Korea. Develop participatory public diplomacy framework. So to have more relations, to have more contact, to have more partners to develop some operations. Here, promote Korean studies and language. Okay, the job is, at least it's written down. Then, you see, maybe you don't know, but I'm sure you don't know, but it functions like this. As I said yesterday, but it's good to write it down again. Yesterday I said, government as a policy doesn't work anymore. Not political, but a policy. Then there is a protagonist. Sorry, and then there is an embassy for implementation. So there is a line like this, and it's yeah, the South Korean, as the Chinese are very, as the Vietnamese also are very well organized. Everyone is going working in the same direction, and so it may be very efficient. Now we have another. I like this slide for a particular line. Yeah. The effect. I like this line because CCI, I don't know, Chamber of Commerce?
Yes, Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, Chamber of Commerce of Industry. Here we see this line, establishing the creative milieu. Establishing the creative milieu. Maybe for you it doesn't mean nothing. What is that? Is that when you have a wave, when you have a momentum, it may be finished one day. Maybe the momentum of the US is finished, which is a dream of many people on the planet. But maybe the Korean wave, sometimes the wave is always like this. Then you have to find new way of development, new resources. But who are the protagonists here? Not the producer of cars and bottles. Because of value of creativity. Creativity is made by, let's say, rapidly speaking, author, designer, writers, and all this person. They, as the French do the same. They support by laws the development of the career in their own country. So it means that the government clearly organize the possibility for author, writers, musicians, designer to have a good career, to have social protections, to have a high standard schools. Then there will be the next generation. Perfect. Because once it's over, new ones can create something new. And this loop is quite clearly functioning in France. For example, France is the second biggest country for animation after the US. Because of what? Because the tradition of comics, of Tintin, in the beginning, for 86, everyone knows Tintin. But it starts with that. But at one moment, they say there will be something new. And I think it's maybe 20 years ago, they create a specialized school for animation in the capital of Angers, where it's a capital for comics. So the French had the similar idea of, it was before the Korean. Okay, I'm clear? I hope I am clear. it means that the government, the central government, is taking care of its creators in its own country to train the next generation.
We know about Tintin and also Asterix.
Yeah. So, establishing the creative milieu is done inside to create the next generation of author.
You have seen Oggy and Cockroaches?
Yes.
Then, some other data. In 2016, they organized a public diplomacy act. So I quote, because it's a little bit long, but I quote, diplomatic activities are conducted by the nation directly or in collaboration with local governments and private sector to enhance understanding and trust for foreign nationals in South Korea through culture, knowledge, and policies. It emphasizes harmoniously reflecting universal values and their distinctive characteristics of South Korea. It's clear. It's written down. You can download it on PDF. And they had a first master plan, and now they have a second master plan. What does it mean? It means that despite the government, and you know yesterday the president was destituted, we say like this? Yesterday there was a confirmation that the president of South Korea, which have made a coup, was destituted. Despite this momentum, this plan will not be changed. Otherwise, the government will be stupid. It could be left, right, center, right. It's stupid to break a plan like this. If they had a plan in Bangladesh, and then there was this change of power last summer, if there is a plan like this, we don't have to change the plan because otherwise it disturbs all the efforts when there is alternance or regime change. And there's a vision of South Korea, a global central nations. Look at that. Look at the value. They say South Korea, a global central nations. Well, we are part of the member of the world, contributing to freedom, peace, and prosperity with 3 goals and 12 key tasks. I didn't go further. But they announce themselves as being part of the global community and supporting shared values of multilateralism, exactly as India is, or France, or Bangladesh, or maybe Bhutan. I don't know. Creative Korea, encouraging national creative capacity. So I should mix the 2 slides, sorry. A primary aim of Korean cultural diplomacy is a diplomacy of values in which cultural industry creates a narrative that emphasizes resilience of Korean people, progressive technological advancements, vision of an individual living in harmony with their surroundings. At least, you see, these 3 values may be a narrative which is not found clearly here. That's why a comparison is very interesting. Here, maybe we can understand initiatives or discourses or literature events by these elements, which give some keys. And these keys were identified by the government. Why resilience? Because of the division of the country. Why technological investment? Because of their technology knowledge, like Samsung and all these brands. And why individual living in harmony? Because harmony is very important in Asia with their surroundings. They don't want to. They have big neighbors, and South Korea has 2 big neighbors, which is Japan and China, and they want to live in harmony. So they take their side. They assume to be a middle power. I think it's a 10th biggest power for GDP in the world. I think it's been ranked like this, which is already very impressive. And they start from scratch because it starts in 1953 after the division of the country. So it's very interesting. We will go now to understand why is it so efficient in the world. We will try to understand because a lot of research over there is done there. Okay, so you see, this is it should be put like this without any lines. I will redo this this slide. Yes, we will go to the next slide because this is another an argument which came to the next slide. It's quite interesting. I'm not totally convinced, but it's very interesting to discuss because we have seen the disposal and the first part of my presentation. They speak to any different kind of population. Then we have seen that there is a strategy clear and changed for years with a lot of money. Then I'm not analyzing the result because it's too much economic, but we will try to understand why. Alors, so, you know, last year I received from Professor Shushan, K-beauty boom, do Korean creams really works on Indian skins? From the Indian Express. So it shows that the question is in the air for the Indian society. Alors, why is it a success? Ability to combine familiar elements of global cultural industry with distinctly South Korean traits. Okay, we can discuss for hours about that, but at least researchers ask why is it so efficient in India, in France, in Tunisia, and maybe in Brazil? Why is it so efficient at that moment, particular moment? So this is a hybrid aesthetic cultural industry. They assume it's an industry, no doubt about it. They are here for making money, to sell bands, to sell items, to sell t-shirts. They are here to make money, they assume. And then consumer, attracted by the novelty of Korean culture and reassured by its continuity with the norms of global pop culture. Why not? Why not? I don't know. But at least it's one of the arguments. It's not my argument. It's argument from some researcher. It's quite interesting because it combines, they say it combines some element of Korean traditional pop culture plus the capacity to be received by anyone in the world. That's the main, this is one of the arguments. I have another argument by a Korean researcher which came from political economy. Have you some questions on that moment? We cannot prove that. We cannot prove it. Researchers try to find results. To understand why is its worldwide success in 2024.
Transparency, this idea of transparency. So I didn't understand. You need to say that it's clear what is the plan of their cultural diplomacy.
Yeah.
And it's also clear that who is the arbiter of that plan.
Yeah.
But how can we really be sure about who is the arbiter of that plan? Because you see, the cultural diplomacy and they claim themselves to be part of this global central nation, right? It was written, global central nation.
Yeah.
Something. So because you see this idea of culture is a constant discussion between the forces of outside and inside when it comes to the culture which is being sold, and they are selling their culture.
Yeah.
Right? But how can we be sure that it's very transparent that who is behind the decision and what the culture would be? This idea of, you see, on one hand, South Korea has this culture, let's say.
Yeah.
The superficial culture that they sell, that we know. And the traditional culture, the traditional art forms, the traditional textiles, all these are dying out. And more the culture that they really show is becoming global. Now when you stretch something so globally, what really remains locally? So this idea of kind of selling something which in the long run will not be yours. In that sense, the rise of South Korea will only be a metaphor and not the reality. The metaphor for other cultures, yes.
I'm not sure to understand. Je suis pas sûr de comprendre sa question. C'est une question de transfert culturel ou de qui fait l'action? I'm not sure to understand you.
What
Okay.
I understand is,
Okay.
what I understand is that you want to make the point that there is a transparency in the culture. So in that transparent process, we don't know who is doing what. Because finally, yes, there is a culture industry, but the idea of culture industry is not clear and that is not very transparent.
Yeah, the arbiter of the culture.
So the arbiter of the culture is not there. Now this fact is very much true because in a process of marketing, it is understood. It is not said that this is a marketing process. It is very clearly understood that this is a marketing process. Like you go to a mall, they give you something to taste. Now they are collecting data. So they don't have to say, transparency doesn't come that what is the purpose of that particular action. It is understood in that context that it is marketing. So there is the only arbiter will be the consumer.
Yeah.
The consumer is the one who decides what you want as a consumer and what is to be sold to these consumers. So the rest all follows the result of that, whatever you call it, survey, in whatever way it is being.
But I think there is one arbiter behind the tastes of consumer as well. Now that is
No.
Because
That happens, that is an age-old process, you are not wrong. But in the present times, it doesn't work in the same manner because, see, when Nestle started marketing, the Nestle marketing process is different. They decide. That is the different. That's why you have a taste of Maggi and so many other. But that is the gone era. The present era will be slightly different because you see the global nation. There the idea was to prepare the entire globe for one taste. Like, for example, an American taste. Now it is not. Now you have to create a new taste. You will find a new taste for beverages in Brussels in recent times. In his generation, they may not find, but now you find, for example, if there is a beer being sold, it is coming with the taste of orange. So maybe for a generation it will be very awkward, but it is so.
I think there must be a difference between the senses of taste and eyes, because you see, we can think about that in terms of taste it could be very subjective, but what I'm saying is the eyes or the ears are so much the subjectivity of these two senses are determined, and now more than ever.
Even that is not.
Because
Even the sense, see, you go to any mall of India, this process, I always say, the costliest beauty product selling or beauty salon that you find in any mall in India is what?
Sephora.
Hmm?
Sephora.
Huh?
Sephora is there, but have you seen Caleston? You go to big malls in China. Now see, even the word Sephora or Caleston, what do you get there? But what kind of beauty products you get? You go slightly earlier, you will get Provençal. That's also a beauty product. Provençal is a beauty product, typical French market. Provençal is a region in France.
Ah, Provençal, la Provence.
La Provence, Provençal, we get it. Then Caleston, what is the word?
Maybe Greek word.
It's a Greek word,
Caleston.
Caleston. Caleston is French. I'm not sure. Yes. But you see, but word they have taken is different. You see the beauty products. So even for the eyes, they are not dealing with a smell. They are dealing with the beauty products, which deal with what? Certain motion related to eyes. Okay, certain motion related to gaze. Okay. Now you see the same process there. For example, the Korean heritage, one of the beauty products you find from the heritage of Korea, which is there in Indian market.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You find that when there is a particular kind of a small insect, it walks, it moves, kind of a snail, not exactly a snail, kind of a snail. Then it leaves a certain viscous. It's a kind of a snail. Yeah, mucil, exactly. Now you see that mucil is collected and a product, a beauty product is created out of that. So it is available in India.
Made by Korea.
Yeah, whatever. And it comes from Korea. It is a Korean heritage product, which is, you see, it is being sold, and you see the entire notion, not only taste. The whole notion, the beauty product is related to either smell or related to eyes, these two mostly. So you see these two, and you see the product which is available, and how it is being marketed, what is the strategy, and what is the target audience. It is not marketed to every target audience. So the whole process is there. So that arbiter is following the market which is there. Who will buy that product? What are the problems that the beauty product consumers face in India, and how to respond? How do they think? So this is the collection.
But in that, we assume that the consumer doesn't know that this beauty product exists and then they market. But what I'm saying, there is an arbiter of the culture from the side of consumer that they already have this.
From the side of consumer, there is none. Consumer is a disorganized. It is like, I don't know. That is the problem of market. For example, you go to your stock exchange. A stock exchange, as a stock investor, you are highly disorganized. So you cannot decide. Who will decide? The one who owns 20%. That's all.
No.
That's how it works.
Okay.
But that's how it works.
But there is a debate here.
No, yes. But marketing works.
Consumer has a specific history with a specific knowledge.
Yes.
So because of that, we cluster a different type of consumer.
I think the
Consumer
consumer.
don't know, consumer know.
Even if you know, you cannot decide. You are not the arbiter.
Is consumer the enlightened person, like, and can't be?
Yes. You are an enlightened person as a consumer, but still you are not a person who can decide in the global process.
I don't think we are the Kantian enlightened person. Consumers are not. I think subjectivities are created. In the consumer world, subjectivities are created, and now more than ever, when we have social medias and kind of, subjectivities are created.
Even if a consumer is an enlightened person, this is what I mean. The consumer cannot decide. Whether a consumer is an enlightened person or not is a different debate. Even if you are an enlightened person, you cannot decide. In the process, you cannot be the arbiter. No, you are yourself anyone. You cannot decide because you are a disorganized sector. Purely
Many brands are fighting for you to
Yes,
buy.
yes.
So they are trying to engage in different markets with different narratives.
Agreed. So who is the arbiter in the process? There is no arbiter. You see, that's what he says. That's what the question is. Who is the arbiter? Nobody is. He is the arbiter. This is what I'm telling you.
There are.
No, there is none.
No, there is none, but there are.
Well, if you are convinced there are, for example, can you give me any arbiter of Tata products in India? Tell me one example. Because see, just telling that you are convinced is no arbiter. I'm giving you a particular product. See, I drive Tata Nano. You know that. Now give me the arbiters for Tata Nano product. It is a very important product in Indian market. Its failure is also discussed. Its marketing failure is also discussed. discussed in every management school, and it is a very important product. It's a very important process, a cultural process. Okay? Can you tell me which the other?
Let's say some cultural product like katana.
Don't shift both. I've given you a very specific example. Nano, and it is a well-known story. Can you tell me the arbiter?
But when did Nano come? When did Nano come?
2011.
2011 we didn't have social media in
We
that
have-
scale, in India.
Again, so that scale, how does it matter?
No, but what
So
I'm saying is
not what I'm saying. I'm telling you that there are no arbiters in the present day market process, except for some government agencies who are trying to control. But that is only trying to control. They also control in the sense of some tax laws, etc., some laws which try to create a favorable condition for the nation state, and the whole marketing process is again related to that. That we can say, but somebody who is deciding any marketing process is not possible in contemporary times.
there is not somebody, but I'm saying there is this. Okay, maybe.
No.
Can I?
Specific words, arbiter, doesn't exist in contemporary times.
Can we go back to the lecture?
Yeah.
Okay.
Transparency is a different concept.
So we will not discuss transparency and arbitrage. I think there is a misunderstanding somewhere, but I don't go into detail. What we have to face also, face to the South Korea success, that it's clearly an entertainment capitalism, because K-pop production is organized as an industry, like high serially mass production, transformation of artists into transmedia idols. They have a very, very, very strict contract with what they should do, what they are committed to. They are not very artists, with a system which constantly involves the public, where this is a fan system, so the fans translate the language, the song, the lyrics of the song. The fans buy products, so they manage in a huge community through social media. And it is said that the production model de-individualized artists, transforming them into standardized products since the members of the group are manufactured. If you look at some rare documentary on that questions, it's clearly visible. I've seen one, I've read one book, and all the power is in the hand of the producer, which create a band from scratch. And this is a highly marketed product in order to succeed. And they also introduce behind that series industry, they also produce they try to localize. For example, there is a band in Belgium which is famous. I think it's Black Swan. And why is it famous? Because there is a Belgian singer into it. So they try to localize different bands. Maybe there is one band here with an Indian member of the group, just in order to make some similarity, some mixed product in order to be promoted. So we should not forget that as far as I know, South Korea puts at its highest this entertainment capitalism more than the US, because the US is more fragmented, it's bigger, and it's older. So the system has a lot of creativity, and the government and the industry doesn't control all the elements. So I think it's an actual case which shows this situation. So perception of the fan is also very important. It is said, I cannot prove it, that fans are seduced by the Confucian values of respect and politeness that seems to permeate society. Okay, it is said, I will not prove it. It is said that fans appreciate the innate of a soft, less virile masculinity that alternates with the dominant norms of masculinity in the West. Okay, why not? Huh? You know, there is a lot of debate among the young ones at a worldwide level about masculinity, and something which is going in that direction with the example of the US, or something which is more flexible. You may be surprised by visiting Europe how many men look hybrid and how many young girls looks hybrid too. It's a very, it's a huge trend in Europe. That's why we are called decadent. Fans criticize the pervasive cult of appearance, highlighting the pressure to conform to strict aesthetic standards. So there is also a cult of appearance. You should like an idol. You may dress, behave like this. So there is a lot of identification. And but on the other side, they denounce the strong academic professional competition that breaks insanity and the high suicide rates among young Koreans. So this is a very interesting case because this is a mix of traditional culture, industry, and capitalism. It's a unique case, I know, in that direction. The French model doesn't exist like this. The UK model doesn't exist like this. And the Indian model, if there is one, doesn't exist like this. Even the Chinese is not like this. Because the Chinese is not entertainment capitalism. The Chinese model is a party dominant no, because in the industry it's a party dominant capitalism, but for soft power it's not capitalism because the soft power of China is not organized by the private sector. The soft power of China is organized 100% by the government. But here we see that there was a, I don't know when, but at a very interesting moment, the interest of the industry converged with the interest of the country. It's a rare case. The two interests converge at a very specific moment, and then the government choose to ride on that convergence. There was a moment like this in Japan, let's say 10 to 15 years, which was called cool Japan, before that wave. You should have not heard of that because it's gone. And there was a very short moment where the industry of entertainment in Japan was converging with the interest of the country. But it stopped after 5 years. Because of what? Because the government was not able to manage the industry. You know, the government of Japan is very conservative. They were not very ready to push new initiatives, and they didn't support their own creative industry. And then it collapsed. It was 20 years ago. And then there was a hole, there was a pothole, there was a room, a place, sorry. There was some place for one country, and then South Korea. It could have been India. It could have been, Taiwan is too small. It could have been a middle country, but in a region where we have, because South Korea is very rich, it could have been, it's not possible for Myanmar, for Cambodia, for Thailand, it's not possible for them. It's not possible for Bangladesh. So there was only one country which was able to challenge in the region China and Japan. It was South Korea. It's a very interesting moment. And it was called because of they also organize this fandom activities. Alors, there is another explanation by a political economist from South Korea. He says there is a cultural affinity, so a little bit similar. It's there is a cultural affinity between South Korean music and bands and country which shares similar values. Okay, China and Japan share Confucianism, but how can we explain the success of Hallyu and South Korea in Latin America? They don't share any value together, so it doesn't function. It functions for a part of the world. There is other one which is discussed the slide before, affective activity. So I am attracted because I have developed affection. I am a fan of that idol, I am a fan of that person. Okay, but fandom is very limited. It doesn't create a huge market. So we've got two small explanations. One is regional, the other one is based on fandom. At least, I don't know here, I don't know but in Brussels, Paris, Berlin, there is Asia Fair, when you can come for one day and there is thousands of products to buy. And it's more for teenagers. It's more for teenagers. But the teenager wants to, one thing, and each one of them too. It's pieces of 10 euro, makes 100 euro at the end of the day. So, and this guy also proposed universal uniqueness. I'm still trying to understand what it means. But this is, I'm quoting Dal Yong-jin, Transnational Proximity of the Korean Waves in the Global Cultural Sphere. It's a little bit similar. The global youth may identify because of Korean something value, which is okay, why not? It may be interesting. Because they say, for example, BTS express hard-working attitude, honesty, and hope in their songs. Yeah. But maybe the Bangladesh singer and the French singer express hope in their songs, as far as I know. And the whole world is not crying for the end of the world. There is some hope. So why only by South Korean bands? Not very... and I'm not sure that everyone is looking at the translation of the lyrics in their own language. I was listening to a lot of pop and rock music coming from the Anglo-Saxon world. I never have translated the lyrics. Or even if I listen to Hindi pop music, I don't translate the lyrics. I just rely on the cocktail. Okay, why not? But we try to find an example, some example. I propose to add something which goes to here, and because the Dal Yong-jin, it came from a critical political economy framework. It's very specific angles. There is the comment I've made already, South Korea is a highly capitalist country. And I propose here something in the middle coming from communication studies. The capacity to use universal elements. And I quote the same author than yesterday, which is Steven Spielberg. The capacity to use some universal elements in order to feel close. So I think it's the best... by doing this lecture today, I think it's the best explanation for the South Korea success. It's not too far, it's not too close. So it gives a possibility to many people in the world, and the young ones, which are globalized. You have to assume that you are globalized. And the first reality is that you are here in India when you are not a citizen of India, and you are globalized with your smartphone. So you are globalized, no doubt about it. And maybe you find something which is close and something which is not too far. I can testify, and my generation is not ready to look to a 3 hours movie, Bollywood movie, with song and dance for the half of the scenario, where it's too far from my background. So it's like this. It's cultural elements. So I think it's this middle element, something which is maybe to use the word of my colleagues, universal uniqueness, transnational proximity, something which is in between. And because there was some room for maneuver. The Chinese soft power is no more efficient. The at least in Europe, the Japanese has collapsed, so there was room for South Korea. They arrived at the right moment. Hopefully for them. Now, some words to conclude this session. Yeah, for 15 minutes. Keep concentrated. We can try, you know, since yesterday, I tell you two things, and tomorrow the same. It's possible to tell stories. It's still possible to have a communication strategy well organized. It's a challenge for any country except North Korea, and even Bhutan. And the goal is to evaluate it, because it's taxpayer money. It's not private companies. So it's taxpayer money, so there is some capacity. I go rapidly to that, how to evaluate it, and there is a global soft power index, which is done by a private British unit called Brand Finance, and Brand Finance is a consulting company. So you can download for free the global index, and then you can choose to have some consultancy at €4,000 a day by the consultant. That's how they do. But at least there was, before the COVID, there was a 4 to 5 indexes, but it costs a lot of money. So the only one is remaining, that private one. Okay. And the results are very surprising according to my eyes. So soft power is evaluated to different elements. It's similar than public diplomacy. I said yesterday, you know, business and trade, governance, international relations, culture, heritage, media and communication, education and science, and people and values. We have seen all these items through the day and yesterday, because even in the Turkmenistan case, you have looked to that. You mentioned it, education, you mentioned young ones, you mentioned horses and all that stuff. And here is a last edition which was published 1 month ago. So the US is ranked number 1, the China is ranked number 2, then UK, Japan, Germany, France, Canada, Switzerland, Italy, immediate Germany, and here South Korea, which is gaining 3 ranks according to that, which is interesting. 3 ranks is a lot. And here, what I have, one of my surprise is to see Russia ranked 16. The brand of Russia at the moment of that war, and this invasion of the sovereign state, which is Ukraine, is ranked number 16. But what are the brains of Russia for the citizens in the world? I don't know. I have looked, it was in the plane before coming here, I looked clearly to the methodology. They say, but they don't disclose the number. They say we have made survey everywhere in the world, in more than 160 countries. You know, there is 193 countries members of the UN. And they say we have made survey everywhere in the world, online or face-to-face. As far as I know, a private company is not allowed to do any survey in Russia. So, well, how this country are ranking, including all the ones, we can question all the rankings, whatever is a country, not only Russia. But I think that maybe not here, but I think if many people express themselves, their view on Russia, they are aware that there is a war in Ukraine. And the invader is clearly the Russian Federation. So it's a very, very interesting question, but at least it gives an idea. And I go further, because we will see it tomorrow in more detail. The country rely on that. Each country cannot pay a big survey. So it's too expensive to have the image of the worldwide image. So the embassies, no, I had some discussion with diplomats. They say, yes, we use such a rankings to see where we are. So at least we may challenge them, but they also are able to use it for their own purposes. And we'll show you Kazakhstan do that. It will be interesting to see where is ranking Bhutan. But some very, very some very invisible country are ranking in the first 50 places, which is not logic for me. Okay, but we have to look at this reality, just to look at this reality. I forgot to give you the ranking of India. Maybe you can download it. Digitals open new possibility to evaluate. Of course, we can count the numbers of data sciences, social media analytics, network analysis, and discourse analysis with dedicated software. This slide is more oriented towards communication students because you will never be trained to use such tools, or maybe one day. We don't know. After your master, you choose to do to join an embassy, and why not? Here is an example of digitals. Digitals help to create networking of protagonists. It's another world. It's not my world anymore. I didn't grow. I was not born at the right moment, but I have some colleagues around 30. They are aware to do all that evaluations through specialized data. Okay, you are lost, no problem. You can use factor numbers, audience of public participant in event, number of institutes, number of students. For example, in 2023, I've learned that with 1.5 million Romanian people are learning French in Romania, and Romania is only 40 million people. So it's a very huge number of people people learning a language. Okay, that's just.
And you see here the 1.5. How is it?
Huh?
1.5. You write in the European French.
Yeah, I'm European. I'm not a British guy.
No, for us it will be. Don't get confused.
For you, you make a point.
Yes.
And we make a comma. Yeah? I assume. Maybe it's a mistranslation of my slide. Maybe you want to put it out. Okay, we can skip that one. Okay, conclusion. That's the same. A little mistake, sorry. The same than yesterday, but why not? It's good to hammer the same idea for the students. So you have seen, we have seen 2 cases today. So it made 3. Yesterday it was China, today it was Turkmenistan and South Korea. It's a little bit rapid, okay? But Turkmenistan, it's unclear because it starts from scratch. South Korea, it's a process. It's an industrial process. Remember that it's governed by both private enterprises and the government. So using a country, using resources, then there is a lack. There is a lack in the South Korean case. The narrative is unclear. It's not really clear because through music bands it's very difficult to promote that they are a global nation sharing values and multilateralism. It's unclear.
But then also they have this, for example, if you see Netflix series or
Squid.
Korean, South Korean,
Yes.
you know, it's very, I think, important and it's another part of the narrative.
You're right, but it's not so. It's not obvious to make it short. It's not obvious it's not very easy to resume the country with one sentence. You see what I mean? China claims superiority due to its old civilization and trade components. Okay, it's clear. It's a wording of the president. Here it's not so easy to resume it. But they vote for the sanction against Russia, but they are a member of the Quad, but they are supporting Ukraine with technology, but they are a part of the multilateral. Okay, but it's not so clear because because we can see also K-pop as an island, which is only in culture. maybe literature could be more visible. And then that case provide different voices.
Even you have this Nobel Prize, Han Khan, the vegetarian, who wrote the vegetarian.
Yes, it was this year. Yeah, it was. It may help to change, but it's very recent.
Yeah, very recent.
And as far as I know, it's only.
Man Booker Prize in 2015 or 16, something like that. So it was already there, the literature, but not other,
But
large scale. And there's K-drama, all these aspects are.
and she's unknown in Europe.
Now she's known.
Well, but before the Nobel Prize, she was totally unknown in Europe. When it was appearing like this on the paper, so, oh, a Korean lady.
Man Booker Prize. After that, or around that period, she was very, very.
Okay, and okay. Any question? Any question? Mayor Wenti?
No, if you ask questions, yes. But your question is lost.
I think because you see,
It's a comment.
if you ask simple questions, the answers are simple, but the world is complex. I don't think how can we really solve the world by simple questions. That's not. I mean, even this, if we say that South Korean case is very simple or it's very complex. I mean, it's so complex that we can't. I mean,
No, I didn't say that the South Korean camper is simple.
you know, we.
It's complex.
No, we. We means the normal. We are using we for the world.
Some other students want to contribute?
I still feel very experienced.
The NP analysis is complex. This is obvious.
Because for example, let's say the recent case.
If nobody has questions, we can stop, then we can discuss.
Wait, last question. Analyzing one country like this, like one I've done, it takes years to be familiar, to understand who is doing what, to gather the data. It takes years. That's my job as a researcher, as a teacher. That's the job of the administration to do that in order to evaluate how the country is going. So today was a very vibrant day with your exercise. You have proved that you can make it and you can have critical eyes, of course, but on communication products. And then tomorrow we discuss something totally invisible, which is how middle power try to emerge in the mind of citizens at a worldwide level. Come with the same motivation, and see you tomorrow.
You want to say something? No? So we stop now?
We stop now? We press the stop the record button?
You can just remove it.
Yeah. Yeah.